Okay, so in the last video, we discussed about the steps to draw an entity relationship diagram. So in this video, let us move ahead and talk about our further entities. Like we discussed about 3 entities in the last video. Now let us understand and analyze the attributes for the remaining entities. Let us begin with account. Now, if you have ever visited bank, you would have noticed that there are 2 types of account we generally have. First one is savings account and the next one is current account. Now, there are few things which both of the accounts have in common, and there are few things which both of them uniquely have, like each of them have separately. So let us first list down all the things. Now, account will have an account number, right? Number. So this is a primary key, and both of them will have this. Then account will have some account holder's name, then some balance. These are the attributes which are common. Now, if the account is a saving account, then there will be some rate of interest which you will get from bank. So there is some rate of interest for this savings account. If the account is current account, you will have something known as charge per transaction. Like per transaction, you need to pay something. So it is charge. Now that we've listed all the attributes, is it really visible that these 3 are the common ones? And this is for savings and this is for current account. So how do we accommodate it? Like we have discussed it before that if there is something like this, so instead of keeping all the attributes to a general entity, like instead of keeping all 5 attributes to account, what we have is a relationship, and we keep these common attributes to the general entity, which is account, and then we have some sub entities. Let's have savings account and current account as our sub entities, and we'll keep the relevant attributes such as rate of interest to the savings account and charge per transaction to the current account. So let us draw and analyze how it looks like. So our general entity will be account, right? And let us write its attribute, some account number. It is at primary key, so I've underlined it. Then some account holder's name will be there. After name, some balance. So these are the common, like both of them have. So I've written them to the general entity. Now, let us have an is a relationship. We have discussed this in specialization, right? So it's a relationship. I'm writing it, and I'm having like account is a savings account. Now I can easily have the specific entities to the specific sub entity, like for specific attribute to the specific sub entity. So account will have some interest rate, and current account will have some charges per transaction. Okay. So I think we're clear how do we represent account in this particular AR diagram. Well, let's move ahead and okay, we'll discuss about the next entity, which is loan. Let's keep it simple and let's have only 2 attributes for this. Let us have some loan number. And then let us have something as amount, like amount of loan which is taken. I've included this to just to ensure that we have some weak entities and some weak relation, and just to include that example, I've included this in the system. So let's not complicate it. Let's keep it simple and just have these 2 attributes for now. Our next entity was payment. So let us discuss and let us have details. Now remember that payment is a weak entity which depends on loan. So how do we represent a weak entity? With the double rectangles, right? So I'm writing payments inside it. Then in payments, let us have some payment number. then some amount, like if we are paying it in installments, there needs to be some amount like what we are paying, then some date, like when the payment is done. So let us keep it simple and we'll be having these things. Okay, so let us move ahead, and now that we have all the entities in in our system, we analyzed about all the attributes for all the entities. Then we also discussed about the types of attributes for all the entities. Now, next step was to understand about the relationships between the entities. Like, what is the association there between all the entities? So, let us list down all the entities first so that we have an idea about. And let's start discussing about all the relationships one by one. So the first relationship is customer borrows loans. Now, let's understand about the cardinality first, cardinality ratio. So, how many customers can borrow one loan? Like many customers, right? So, many customers can borrow one loan, and uh, one customer can borrow many loans. So, this relationship is a many to many kind of relationship. Many customers can borrow one loan, and one customer can borrow many loans. So it is a many to many relationship. We can also call it as M is to N cardinality ratio. Now, what about the participation? Like, if a loan is taken, if a loan is there in the bank, it needs to be taken from some or the other customer, right? It cannot simply exist like that. So, if a loan is taken, it needs to be taken by some or the other customer. So, we can say that there is a total participation from loan. But is it necessary for all the customers to take loan from bank? No, right? So what we do is there's a partial participation, like a customer may or may not take loan from bank. I think we're clear with this relationship. Let's move ahead. And our next relationship is loan is originated by branch. Now, one branch can originate many loans, right? People can have loans from a branch and many branch. One branch can have many loans. Now, but the other way, one loan, it needs to be taken from one branch only, from one office itself. So this is a many to one relationship, or in other words, we say n is to 1 is the cardinality ratio. Now, what about the participation? Like, if you're taking a loan, it needs to be originated from someone, right? You cannot just blindly say that, okay, this is the loan not originated from any branch. So there needs to be a total participation from loan. Okay, so this is a total participation relationship. Then next relationship is loan has payments. Now we have discussed this example before also. Because payments is a weak entity, this relation is going to be a weak relationship. Okay. And then what is the cardinality ratio? Like, how many payments can a loan have? Like, one loan can have multiple payments, because if you're paying it in an installment, you need to have multiple payments to complete that one particular amount. So this is a one to many relationship, right? And there needs to be total participation from payments, because if a payment is like, a payment cannot be randomly made. Like, a payment needs to be made for a particular loan itself, right? You cannot just go and make a payment. I don't want to fulfill any node, just take this payment. You cannot go and say like that. So there needs to be a total participation from payment side. So our next example, like next relationship, is customer deposits in bank account. Now, it is a many to many, because many customers can deposit in one account, and like many accounts can be related with one customer. So it is a many to many relationship. Or we can say M is to N is the cardinality ratio. Now, there need not to be any there need not to be any total participation or any constraint, like a customer may or may not deposit in account. It's not necessary. So there can be partial participation only. Then what about next relationship is employee is managed by employee, like manager. Now, one manager can manage many employees, and many employees are managed by one manager, right? So it is a many to one relationship. Many to one. because manager is one and it is managing many employees. So this is a unary relationship. If you can see, there is a relationship among only one entity, and employee is managed by a manager. So we can, in other words, we can say the cardinality ratio is n is to 1. Then the next relationship we consider here is customer contacts employee. Now, a customer may or may not contact, so there's no constraint on total participation. And then many customers can contact many employees, and many employees, like one employee can respond to multiple customers, right? So it is like many to many relationship. So it is many to many. And the words I can say that the cardinality ratio is n is to m, m is to n. Okay, so we are clear with all the relationships. Now, in the next video, since we have collected all the data, we have collected all the relationship entities, attributes, types of attributes, relations, their constraints. Now we have everything in our mind. Let us move to our last and final step. Let us draw the ER diagram completely, and let us draw it completely in the next video.